Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It is now Friday, the 7th of December. It's 10 to 6, driving home from work. And yeah, the year is gonna be gone soon. We'll be into 2019. I still don't know where it all went, to be honest. It's been a bit of a blur. Much like this week has been a bit of a blur, to be honest. It's it's been one heck of a week. Busy isn't the word, really. Yeah, we've had loads on. Not helped by my taking a trip on Tuesday to south of London, so Gatwick. 500 miles, I think, in total, there and back. So that was a long trip. Went to c0ff just before 12 on Tuesday, got there at 4:30 where I was going to, because at 5 o'clock they wanted me to commission the coffee roaster. Fortunately, the coffee roaster is in the demonstration room with all the coffee machines and everything else, and also where they have the big meetings of all the sales force, who I'd be training the next day. All 20 salespeople are on sort of demonstrating and using the roaster for them to show them to other people to possibly buy them. So a sort of sales thing, as it were. So got there at 4:30, still having the meeting in the meeting room that's supposed to finish at 5, so sat and waited in there. Little waiting area. At 5 o'clock, you know, the rest of the office staff and people disappeared and the cleaners came, and I'm sat there. And at 5:45, some more important people came out to go home. And one of them said, "What are you waiting for?" I was like, "Well, I'm waiting for that meeting to finish." "Oh, they started late. They could go on a while, yeah." I was like, "Well, I could have commissioned this roaster before." Because it was 7:30 in the morning. The next morning, I'd got to do this training session because I got maxed out day of doing all these Salesforce things. So they wanted an early start so they could fit everything they wanted to do in. So I couldn't really turn up in the morning and commission it. It had to be done at night. So she'd stuck her head in the meeting and come back out. "Oh, well, they're only going to be 10 minutes. It's 5:45. 6:15 on Tuesday evening. They finished the meeting finally and all disappeared, so I can get hands-on with the coffee roaster. Yay! They all left, leaving me with 2 cleaners and the guy in the warehouse at the back, who locks up as well. So they'll lock up. It goes about 7, but it might hang on a bit if you want a bit more. I was like, oh great. That's giving me loads of time to do this, isn't it? Bear in mind, I'm going to get the roaster hot and test roast with it. It takes a while to warm it up, and then it takes... you're supposed to then wait for it to cool down before you turn it off again. So I set it off, and it's the one with the afterburner, so it's only a 1 kilo, it's not a massive one, it's a 1 kilo batch roaster, with the afterburner as well. So the afterburner is supposed to get rid of the smoke, so you don't have to have ducting outside, so you can use it in places where you can't get ducting out, basically. So I set the roaster off heating up, I set the afterburner off heating up, got to 100 degrees, and the power went off for the roaster and the afterburner. And I was like, oh, that's marvellous, isn't it? That means the load's too high for whatever fuse they've got in the breaker. So now I need to find the fuse box. So ask the cleaning ladies, who obviously don't know nothing. They take me to the very back into the warehouse where the warehouse man lives, to fetch him, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I know where that is. I'll come and look for it." So he comes up and looks for it. Well, he goes in and he flicks some fuses and comes back, and it's not come on, and he puzzles a bit more, and he goes back again. Bearing in mind the fuse thing's out in a boiler room at the back of the building. Now, of course, time's ticking on. We're getting on near 7 as it is, and I've not done anything other than discover that I can't use the afterburner and the roaster at the same time. Eventually, he finds that it's actually tripped the main breaker for a whole section, not the fuse for that particular bit. It took the whole breaker out. So this was a case of, oh, marvellous. I wonder if this one's going to be here permanent or not, because I'll be stuck then. So he got it back on again. I got to use not the afterburner, just the the roaster. So I got it warmed up again. Got it warmed up, put some beans in, looked at the sight glass, can't see the beans really. But I put the right load on, I should be able to see them fully in the glass. Not really there. So I put a few more in, just thinking I maybe didn't weigh enough out for what I needed on that roast. And I still couldn't see them. And then it dawned on me that the machine's 3-phase. And 3-phase machines, depending on which way around you put the phases, they will rotate the motors in a different direction. The 2 additional phases to the main lathe. And so you always have to check with the 3-phase that the motor's going the right way, and if it isn't, swap the phases. So yes, it got the phases the wrong way around, so I had to open up the plug, the big 5-pin hookup plug for 3-phase, and reverse the phases, put them back in, and then it was turning the right way and looked right. But I'd run out of time then, I couldn't roast anything. I'd connected up, they had some ducting already. So even though the plan wasn't to use the ducting, I ended up connecting the ducting to the afterburner outlet because I can't use the afterburner and it will get really smoky in there. And they don't really want smoke in it, but it's a really low building, so tricky. It was tricky. So I got back to my hotel at 7:30 Tuesday night, absolutely shattered. And I've got to get up at, well, I've got to be up at 6:30 to get back to the place for 7 because I wanted to get in when the first person was supposed to be there. Now we'll leave it at that. I'll drop my parcels and we'll come back and continue the morning after. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, done with that little task. So put my seatbelt back on. It hides behind the seat, flappy bits. So let's quickly do Mr. Nelson's words of wisdom. Things to talk about on your vlog: the deaths of George Bush Sr. and Peter Shelley, the Buzzcock singer. Right, very good. Means I've been to the Bottomley Arms with my mum on Sunday evening. Lovely. Richard, very nice. Oh, hang on, I'm a bit out of frame. Yes, but I'm in the middle now. My mum, she is a governor's meeting as she seriously will be the Greatland governor. Me, has ever been to Leeds Christmas Market as a Benign Magpie trip? Very good. Christmas Market, can't be bad. Me being irritated during tea time as the boy in my house called Aidan as he was singing and kissing Gemma when he was supposed to have his tea, as he, Gemma and me had quiche and I was crying in my room after Aidan, Gemma and I had tea on Tuesday. Oh, that sounds a bit sad, Richard. I don't know what to say about that, really. I mean, was it the quiche? Was it that bad? I don't know. Or was it the singing? I mean, some singing can pretty much take you to tears, I've got to admit. Mostly mine. Also, Richard was singing yesterday from the Beatles at the Feathers pub on Tuesday evening. Good song, very nice. Ian Blackford claiming Theresa May lying about legal advice on Wednesday afternoon. Right, Richard, all interesting stuff, to be honest. So yes, late to my hotel Tuesday night. Managed to grab some food. They had a bar snack area, fortunately. So I grabbed some food there. I did a restaurant as well, but I wasn't, you know, I was really tired and I was kind of grubby because I'd been messing about with the roaster and whatever else, and I couldn't really be bothered trying to get dressed up for a restaurant, so I just had some food in the bar thing, and that did me, and I was pretty much asleep by 10. But I'm going to get up at 6:30 anyway to get to the place for 7. They said the first people would open up by about 7. I said, well, I wanted to get there because I wanted to get a roast done before everyone was there in the room. Because if I didn't want it smoking them out while I was doing it. You know, that was the whole point of pre-testing, making sure that there was no leaks on the system and it wasn't going to fill the place with smoke. So I got there at 7. There was one car in the car park and it was all shuttered up. So I sat there and I messed on my phone a bit on Steam, and a few more cars turned up, and then it got 7:15 and some more cars turned up, and it got 7:20 and even more turned up. all the cars turned up with people in for the meeting. No one with a key turned up. 7:30, when the meeting's supposed to be on, all the sales forces stood outside by the shutters, discussing the fact that they're stood outside and not having the meeting that was supposed to start at 7:30, which is now, and they can't because apparently 2 of the key holders are off at the moment, so and the 3rd one hadn't turned up yet because he wasn't part of the meeting. You think if you can organise a 7:30 in the morning meeting for 20 of your sales force, bearing in mind the MD of this business, it's a big catering equipment supply business, the MD's there, he got there at 7:10, he's not got a key. They're not giving him, don't trust him. You're not having a key, we don't trust him. I mean, presumably, you know, he turns up at midday normally and leaves about 2, so doesn't need a key because everyone's there already. But yes, he was there for the meeting as well, and to rally the troops. So, but yeah, 20 to 8 someone turned up. So of course everyone had to get in. So of course, you know, the whole point of starting early was because they were behind schedule. We were now behind schedule even more. So they're like, oh, we might have to cut you down a bit on your section. I'm thinking, oh great, I've driven 250 miles down here, spent somewhat like 3.5 hours, albeit only about an hour and a half of that was anything useful because I was sat waiting for a meeting to finish. And now my big sort of presentation and demonstration and showing everyone how to use the thing is going to be cut short because you couldn't organise a few key holders. So anyway, did presentation, got it up and running. It didn't produce too much smoke. It did produce a little bit, but the thing is, it's a very low ceiling room. It's built into the centre of the building. There's no windows to open or anything because it's like a partition in the centre. So it's not on an external wall anywhere, which is a bit awkward. So it went as well as it could do, and someone videoed what I was telling them how to use the roasters. That's good, but I think the end result was they're going to bring a load of people to me next time for a masterclass on roasting and about the machine and the features and the benefits and everything, so they can adequately sell it. So all in all, I was done by 9 AM, would you believe, and driving back up north. So I got back at 1:30, so another 4.5 hour trip, non-stop, I'll hasten to add, both ways, because I'm just of that persuasion that I just want to get driving done, and if I can get away with doing it, obviously both ways I was busting for the loo when I did eventually get there. But it's kind of like, especially going down, a brake stop, if it got me a bit later on, would get me in so much more traffic, and then I'd get even later after that. So I didn't really want to risk stopping and adding maybe 20 minutes on and getting me into the peak time traffic and then not arriving, well, you know, arriving late. Not that it had mattered at the time, I could have done, but I didn't know that. So so that was my busy trip away and back again, and so we're going to see how they get on, and we'll hopefully get some team up. And obviously the ideal thing is that they're going to start pushing this product and promoting it, the roaster. So hopefully that will occur sometime soon. So other things that happened then, well, obviously Monday, because this was Tuesday and Wednesday, Monday I roasted 9 different coffees. I did 9 batches of roast, which it was getting on the most I've done in one session with a roast. I think it was the most I've done, actually, 9. So Wednesday, by the time I got back, I had a load to catch up with, and then Thursday I did 10 different roasts, so 10 different coffees. Had a load of retail packs to do for Cheswick's in Brighouse, so some different blendy ones for them. Did a Christmas coffee blend, which has actually come out really nice. I'm impressed with myself with that. And I had a whole host of other orders for coffee. So yeah, that's been kind of super busy. with the roasting. Then Sunday, I'm going to be a taxi for a Turkish coffee roaster engineer again, and it's my friend Imbraham on his 4th trip to the UK, having previously never ever been outside of Turkey. Thanks to me, he's getting his 4th trip to the UK. Supposed to be coming with a team, that was 3 of them. Visa applications denied by the British Embassy, thank you very much, for 2 of them, on the grounds they thought they weren't going to leave the UK and were going to stay here. One of them is the boss's son of Topa. So the British Embassy actually thought the son of the owner of the Topa company, which is a massive business in Turkey. You know, they're doing coffee roasters around the world and massive big production plants and all sorts. And yes, they thought his son was going to just stay in the UK and not go back to Turkey. Marvellous British Embassy, marvellous. So that kind of really, we've been waiting ages, absolutely ages for this to get sorted out, which is all the Turks' fault, because they didn't organise themselves when the roaster was being built, and then left it to the last minute, and then realised they needed to find some passports, then they realised they have to get the visas, then they realised the visas take ages, and then after all that, the visas got, 2 of them got denied. So poor old Ibrahim's stuck on his own, and my customers had to arrange to get someone in to help him do bits and pieces and whatever else, and just whatever. So there's that side of it, and yeah, it's all a bit of a malarkey, to be honest. But obviously he's landing at Manchester Airport, he's got to get to Liverpool, and they're sort of saying, well, you can get a train transfer to Liverpool station, and then my customer would pick him up from there and take him to the factory and then his accommodation. But my problem with that was kind of like, you know, he doesn't speak English, so he's going to land at the airport, then find his way to get a train, although apparently there aren't trains at the moment, so he would be getting a bus to a train station. Apparently there's 4 train stations in Liverpool, and he could be turning up at any of those, to then meet, oh, I know, I've just remembered I've forgotten something that I was supposed to put in the car. I'll be in trouble for, oh well. Now, fresh that. Yes, so I thought, you know, this is going to end up, the fact he is now the only hope for getting this roaster all connected up and running. I didn't want to take any risks with him getting lost, not getting met, or spending all of Sunday afternoon trailing around trying to find where he's supposed to be. So I thought, right, no, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go to the airport, I'll pick him up from the airport, you know, so he can't get lost, he'll just be at the airport, I'll find him, drive him to the factory where he's going to install this roaster, and then they can take over and look after him, and there's no messing about, and no, you know, me stuck on Sunday. You know, I could see it happening Sunday. I'd be getting calls and emails and whatever. I can't find, where is he? He's there, and he's bringing up, trying to tell me that he's in some station that he's not the right one, but he's Turkish, so how am I even going to talk to him? Yeah, you see my problem. So Sunday, yes, I'll be taking a trip to Manchester Airport, from Manchester Airport to Liverpool, drop him off, just make sure he knows what he's doing and everything, what he should do by now, and then back home again, basically. That'll be the top and bottom of it, but it'll obviously take in 3 hours of my day on a Sunday, marvellous, but, you know, has to be done. Right, I'm off in. So, have a good weekend and week next week, and we'll catch you next week. Coffee vlog. See ya.